In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the real math behind a profitable business, specifically a pressure washing business. No motivation, no guessing, just proven numbers and strategies that actually work that made me tons of money. So if you guys are interested, let's get started. Number one question that we need to ask all of us, all of each other, and everyone around us: why most pressure washing business stay stuck? Why do they stay stuck? Because most guys, they focus on equipment and they don't focus on sales. Most guys focus on getting the biggest pressure washer, the biggest trailer, the biggest tank, and they don't focus on just getting more jobs, getting more leads, closing more deals, right? They don't track cost per lead, for example. You guys see right here. They don't track cost per lead, right? They're not tracking their closing rate. They're not tracking their average ticket. These are all things that you need to be tracking to identify whether you're growing or not, right? So they just hope for jobs instead of engineering income. They just hope and pray somebody calls them instead of actually taking action and implementing strategies that actually help your business grow, okay? So this positions you as a strategist and not a contractor. You're not just a guy who pressure washes. You're a business owner. Excuse me. You're not a guy who just pressure washes. You're a business owner. Business owners do way more things than that, much more things. So, all right. So number two, because these are going to be 5 steps. Okay. So number 2, the core business math. Okay. This is pretty simple. If you guys are running a business, you should know how to do this type of math or already thinking about doing it, okay? So let's say, for example, you want to make $10,000 a month, okay? Now your average job is about $350 per job, okay? That's maybe a house, driveway, roof, whatever it can be, just on average, okay? You would need about 29 jobs per month to make $10,000 a month, all right? Now that's an average of 7 to 8 jobs per week. Realistically, if you want to make this kind of money, you should and will be taking on 2 or 3 jobs per day, okay, to get to your goal, all right? So let's go deeper. Closing rate, for example, let's say you have a 40% closing rate on all your jobs that you get, on all your leads, okay? You need leads. How many leads would you need to know and to get in order to make this $10,000 a month goal, okay? So in this case, at a 40% closing rate and 29 jobs a month, you would need about 73 leads a month to even possibly get close to your goal as far as money, jobs, closing rate, anything like that, okay? So I know I'm going pretty quick, but this is just a simple process that you can just go over every day. Go over your numbers, what's working, what's not working. So this is exactly what helped me make over $100,000, okay? Because you will give yourself standards, and now you want to be realistic with yourself. You don't want to be unrealistic, right? This is going to help you be a lot more realistic, and it's going to help you identify what you're actually doing. You're not just winging it, going out there, saying, okay, I'm going to just try this today, this tomorrow, and see what works, okay? So that's another reason why a lot of these pressure washing businesses are stuck, is because they're not really strategizing. They're not doing anything on purpose, right? So this is a big one, okay? This is a very big one. I do this all the time. I sit down and I do the numbers. I run the numbers. It's very essential. So let's talk about how to get those leads. So now we're at 73 leads a month, okay? How are we going to get these leads? So focus on 2 or 3 proven sources. Not everything is going to do the job. Not everything is going to work the way you want it to work, or even work with your style of business, okay? So you have to understand that. See what works. So for example, what works for me: door hangers, Facebook local groups, and my Google business profile. So just to be a little clear, Google business profile isn't a big one for me, but it is a big one in the industry. So identify these local and free or paid advertising and start figuring out what you want to do. So let's say you start off with door hangers. Okay. Now, hold that thought for a second. We're going to convert this into numbers first, but we're going to do door hangers as an example. Okay. So you want to break down the cost of the door hangers, how much time it takes you to put them out, how many leads you got from those door hangers, how many jobs closed from those door hangers, and then the revenue produced. Okay, so that's gonna help you identify. So if did these door hangers work? Did I waste my money on them? My cat is over there doing what? Lucky, what are you doing over there? We're gonna ignore that for a second. So, you know, that's gonna help you realize if what you're doing is working or not working. That's what I mean by that. So break it down one more time. You buy 100 door hangers at $35 a piece. You put them out in your local neighborhood, maybe one neighborhood down from you. Okay, you put out all 100. You get 30. They cost you about $35, and then you end up getting 6 calls from these door hangers. Okay, now you might think 6 calls. I just bought 100 door hangers. I paid $35 for 100. Only 6 people call me. This is not working. That's false. Don't jump the gun. Okay, your door hangers might not be working right away. Okay, number one, it might be your advertisement. So how did you design your door hangers? Okay, what did you put? Did you put a special discount or a deal that you're offering? Okay, things like that you want to account for. You don't just want to say it's not working. Okay, also, you got 6 jobs. You got 6 calls, I should say, from 100 door hangers. Okay, if you were knocking on those doors, that number 6 would probably be number 3. Okay, because people don't like you knocking on their door. So you can't just be hard on yourself or even just shut out door hangers or things like that or anything you're trying because you got 6 out of 100. The next month it might be 10 out of 100. Okay, so out of those 6 calls, you break them down, you do quotes, you probably most likely land around two jobs out of those 6 jobs. Okay, it's just examples, but you have to be real. You don't want to say I'm going to hand out 100 door hangers, I'm going to get 80 calls, I'm going to close 70 jobs. Like, it's possible, but you have to be realistic, especially when you're starting off. Okay, so out of those 2 jobs, average ticket of $350, you're about $700 revenue. Now this is where it makes sense. You paid $35 for those door hangers. That brought you a total of $700. Okay, you already made that back times 100. All right, so why should it matter if you spend something? If you spend $35 on door hangers and it brought you back $700, that should be a no-brainer for you. You should go back and spend $70 to bring back $1,400, right? That's exactly what I'm talking about. So this exact sale process is what I use, including psychology as well. So, for example, your first phone call, your first on-site upsell, your follow-up system. You need to be doing all these things. You need to be doing all these things after you get these jobs. So now, you get these 2 jobs, $700 revenue. What do? You upsell on the site. Okay, you go over there. You're over there to clean their house for $350, but then you get the driveway for an extra $150. Okay, that's how you upsell and make the cost of these door hangers drop. Okay, so you always want to follow up because at the same time, they have a neighbor. They have a neighbor across the street. They have family members. They have friends. They're also, algae grows back. So you would be coming back down to clean their house again in 1 year, maybe 2 years. Okay. So example, this is with a follow-up system or even over a phone call. Okay. So you want to be intentional with your work, like I've been saying. We usually schedule 2-3 weeks out. What mornings or afternoon works for you. And this is why I'm going to explain. And here, I'm going to explain why this works. We usually schedule 2-3 weeks out. Would mornings or afternoon work better for you? And this is why this sentence right here works. Because you're not giving them a yes or no question. You're not saying, no, I can't do the mornings. No, I can't do the afternoons. You're not giving them that option. You're saying we're about 2-3 weeks out. Would morning or afternoon work? It's one or the other. If they say nothing, you don't have a specific day. So I'm pretty sure there's one of those days where they're going to be available morning or afternoon. That's why it works, okay? So, weekly action plan, okay? So, everything you just learned here, it doesn't make sense if you do not implement it into your business. You can watch this video as many times as you want. You can be bored or you can love it. But as much as I know I sound boring, This is what's going to work for your business. This is what's going to help you. And if you're out there just winging it every single day, good luck to you. But people who write down this stuff and strategize every single thing and identify what's working, what's not, analyze what they did to grow again, year after year, they get better. Okay? So, end with clear marching orders. Example 1. So your first week after watching this video, you're tracking every lead in your notes app or spreadsheet. I have notebooks full of contacts. I have apps. I have Canva spreadsheets. Phone numbers everywhere. You want to keep them down because you can promote to them later on in the year with different services, okay? Or next year. Drop 100 door hangers. Literally, go out and get 100 door hangers on vistaprint.com, about $70, not even, and maybe about $60. And go out, hand them out intentionally. Identify everything we talked about earlier, where you put them out, how many you put out, how many calls you get, how many leads you get, how many you close, and how much money you make. You start doing that, you start realizing what's working. And post 3 local Facebook posts. So I make Facebook posts all day, every day on Nextdoor, Facebook, Instagram, all these social media apps is where I get a lot of my leads, or even just promotion where I, show everybody around my city about my business and me. And answer calls with script. So you don't just answer these phone calls like they're your friends calling. You want to answer professionally. This is Joseph with We Do It For You Pressure Washing. How can I help you? Even if you think it is your friend calling. Okay? Because you never know. So, make it impossible to consume without doing. So, lastly but not least, everything here works if you execute it correctly. Why? Because it's everything I did. Everything I'm doing now in my business. And it's working. You guys are watching the channel. You're watching me grow. You're watching my business grow. And this is exactly what I'm doing. Okay? Now, if you guys want to go into a deeper dive of this, you can DM me on Instagram. We can set up a one-on-one call. And I can talk. And we can go specifically tailored to your business, to your strategies, to you. Okay? So, that's it for this. This is something, as far as breaking down these numbers, that not a lot of people do on YouTube. And I'm going to start doing it more with this membership channel, the membership tab of my YouTube channel. If you guys want to learn how to grow behind the scenes and not buy all these courses and things like that, then you can join my membership on YouTube. And I will be posting behind the scenes videos of full breakdowns of my business. And you do have to pay a monthly subscription, but it's a lot less than these scam courses. And also, one of those membership videos might just pay off your new job. So, you guys get out there, do what you have to do. Any questions, I'm here. On Instagram, We Do It For You, PW. And you guys get at it. Washpreneurs out.